This video is brought to you by Gladiator Concealment. Link in the description box below.
Since we've kind of gotten to the fight part, let's talk another aspect of the fight. If you carry a gun every day, and really this should apply to just life in general, but if you carry a gun every day, and let's say that this is your day, you're gonna go and somebody is gonna try to shoot up a place where you're at and you can't get away, and your only option is to take the fight back to that person. You want to know, and I'm going to take a little bit from a few guys that I'll watch and I'll listen to. One is what's the dude on Facebook? Active Self-Protection. And he's actually a pastor. And one of the things he talks about in every one of his videos, he talks about when someone dies in his video, he talks about spiritual fitness. That's right with God, right with your God, whoever your God is, whatever. If you don't believe in God, I don't know how an atheist rectifies in that moment. I don't think they do. I think everybody in that moment prays to somebody, something. So get right with God. You should be right with God every day. But let's just say this is doomsday for you. This is the day. You want to be right with God. You want to be right with the ones you love, your family, your friends. You want everybody to know that you love them. But you want to have those loose ends sewed up. And a guy named John Lovell, who you should follow, Warrior Poet Society. He's a former Army Ranger. He's been on multiple deployments. So I don't know this from experience, but he does, or the people that he's been around have some experience in this. And if you're in a gunfight, the last thing you want to be worried about is sewing up loose ends. Yep. If you're in a gunfight, you want to be able to have a clear mind, and as clear as you could possibly be. I can't imagine having a super clear mind in a gunfight. Yep. But you don't want to be worried about who you love. If you told them you loved them, you definitely don't want to be worried about where you're going to spend eternity. For us, we're Christians, and me and Michael both got that squared away. You don't want to be worried about your financials, what you leave behind. So, no regrets.
Yeah, no
not even
regrets, not one. And because that's you read about it, or you hear about it, or you hear people that's been involved in it talking about how those kind of things can hold you back, mm-hmm. And they'll make you do things that you normally wouldn't do because of it. And that's not something you want to have to worry about tying you down if that ever happens to you. If the gunfight chooses you, you don't choose the fight. But if the fight chooses you, you don't want those loose ends to be there. And I've seen it in the ICU with patients. I've seen them just stay on life support, and they just keep holding on. And you don't understand why they just keep holding on when their body is so tired and they're ready to go. But it's because they're waiting on that one thing, And when that one thing shows up that they're waiting on,
that kid from out of, their son from out of town,
yeah, whatever. Then that's when they go, just like that.
Yeah.
And trust me, we see life and death a lot, and I can promise you that's a real thing that really does happen. I see it all the time. Yeah. But proper mindset is key, and at the end of the day, the mindset thing comes way before the gun.
Yeah.
And when I decided to carry a gun, I had made my mind up that I was going to be this way long before I ever got my concealed carry permit. Because it is such a change, and you do have to change the kind of person you are and the way you look at things. And it's just so important. It's vital that when you make your mind up you're going to be this way, you do it to the fullest. And you don't hold back, and you get all your ducks in a row. You take care of your responsibilities, and you be that person that you need to be.
Yeah. If the last year you didn't strap on a gun, and this year you're strapping on a gun, you have to be a different person.
Yep.
I don't drink. at all anymore. In the past, I would, casually drink with friends, socially, whatever. I just don't.
Yep.
My wife doesn't drink. I don't drink, but the biggest thing is I carry a gun.
Yep.
And there's just no room for that.
Yep.
So you just kind of you have to make some changes in your life, but it's pros and cons.
Yep.
What does it mean to you? What does your family mean to you? What does their safety mean to you? It's something to think about.
We talked about that. So, that's something else. That I agree with you. I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't go places. As a general rule, I try not to go places that my firearm's not allowed.
Yeah.
I can't always be that way. It can't always be that way, but for the most part, it can.
We have to go to work.
You have to go to work. There's times you have to go in a courthouse. You have to go in a federal building. There's places that you have to go that guns are not allowed. And I'm not gonna. We can get into this whole debate as to whether you should carry in there or not. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to abide by the law because I have more than just a slap on the wrist or a ticket or going to jail for a little while. It's my livelihood. If they catch me with a gun in a federal building, that's a felony. And I will lose not only my freedom for a little while, but I'll also lose my career and possibly lose my family. I'm not saying that my family's going to jump up and leave me, but you never know what could happen until you're in that situation. And I'm just not going to put myself in it. Now, you on the other hand, you have to make a conscious decision of what you're willing to do and not do. Hey,
we're never going to tell you.
I'm not going to tell you to carry
break the law.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you to break the law.
But with that being said, there was a girl that got shot at the same time the Orlando shooting in Orlando. She was on The Voice. She was famous for a little while. Her name was Christina Grimmie, I think. Mm-hmm. And she was shot by a crazed fan in a gun-free zone.
Yep. Not
a federally protected gun-free zone, not a by-law gun-free zone, but a place that didn't allow guns. And her family, from what I read, and I don't know how much, you can't believe everything you read on the internet,
right.
But her family was going to sue the venue for not allowing guns.
Hey, good, more power to them. They should.
And on that note, if I walked into Michael's house and Michael saw that I was carrying and he told me to get out of his house with that gun, I have to get out. It's his private property. If I do not, at that point, I'm trespassing.
Yep.
Same thing can be said about places of business that do not want guns there.
Yep.
If it's not now, there's places in Texas that'll have a sign up and it's like 3006, and if you are caught, with a gun on the premises, it's like a misdemeanor or something. That's different. That is breaking the law. But if it's a place like like a theater and they don't want guns there or whatever, first of all, you shouldn't give them your business.
Yep.
We had a theater here at home that tried to do that ironically, after a shooting in Lafayette. There's a theater shooting in Lafayette. A lot of you probably remember it from the news. And then they were like, you can't carry a gun in there.
Yeah.
And so myself and many, many others called corporate and gave them a piece of our minds.
Yep.
I told them I would drive another 30 minutes to go to another theater that did not trample on my Second Amendment rights. I told them, there was no way I was going to spend my money there, blah, 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 whatever. And lo and behold, that was on a Thursday. Monday morning, that sign was gone.
Yep.
But regardless, if I did want to go to that theater, though, and it's not against the law for me to carry, I would carry and conceal. Now, if they, in the middle of the movie, somebody pulled me to the side and said, do you have a gun on you? And I'd say yes, and they asked me to leave, I would leave.
Yep.
Because you're obligated to leave at that point. You are trespassing if you do not.
They would just no longer get my business.
Exactly. So in places like that, we actually will encourage you to carry, but carry concealed, deep concealed, because they can tell you that they don't want a gun there, but
that's about all they can.
Yeah, that's all they can do, and they can ask you to leave.
Yeah.
And I'd rather somebody ask me to leave than to not have my gun, because I'll leave. It's fine.
Yep.
But I'm still going to protect myself and my family where legally able to.
So, I guess it really boils down to, like we said, make your mind up that you're going to do it and do it right. Do it legal. Do it fair.
Every day.
Every day. Carry every day. 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 Unless it's in a place where you can't. For us, that's when we go to work. We can't carry. If we're not working, guess what? We're carrying a gun.
That's right.
But mindset is key, guys. It doesn't matter about this gear. It doesn't matter about this TDI or this Glock 19 that I've got on or my S4 belt. It doesn't matter about that. All that stuff is gear. And it can be this or that. It's important. But in the grand scheme of things, if you don't have the mindset, it doesn't matter what you have on your body. It's mindset is key. Guys, we appreciate y'all watching. You know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, we would love to talk to you about this. You can put them in the comment section below, or you can jump over to the Facebook page and you can message us there. A lot of times we can get into a more in-depth conversation there as opposed to in the comments. But we'll leave links to all our social media outlets in the description box below. Got it that time? We appreciate you guys watching, and y'all be safe.